Hey, lovely, Susie Ashworth here, founder of the Calm Birth School and the Monetize Your Message one-to-one mentoring program. And today I wanted to talk to you about how open you are to receiving. So, one of my lovely clients over the Christmas period posted a message that I thought was really interesting. Um, I won't go into too much detail, but essentially, she was put in a position where a person offered to help her out by buying some shopping for her. And she thought that this was absolutely amazing. And her response was to be really grateful, really appreciative, and transfer the money that the person had gifted to her from her bank account as soon as she had the opportunity to. And when I read that, the first thing that crossed my mind was, if that had happened to me, I wouldn't have transferred the money. And not because I didn't have it, but because I believe that life changed for me when I stopped feeling like I had to do it all on my own. It happened probably, I don't know, maybe a year, 18 months ago, that I was reading a book, and I was just kind of thinking about some of my own truths and what was working for me and what wasn't working for me. And all of a sudden, I just felt completely overwhelmed by the story that I've been telling myself for a very long time. And that story was, if I don't do it for myself, nobody else will do it for me. Basically, I'm all alone, and I've said this so many times in my life. You come in on your own and you go out on your own. So, don't rely on anybody else. It's all on you. And here's the thing, my life was okay. Um, but it was also fucking hard sometimes. And when it's all on you, when things get tough, when people let you down, when you have to ask for help, all of those things are incredibly, incredibly difficult. And I had this realization that I thought that I was on my own. And what came in right afterwards, and what was so transformative for me, was the realization that instead of being on my own, actually I am completely and utterly, fully supported. And what I did was look for evidence of that. And I looked for evidence of being fully supported in the situations that had been hardest for me in my lifetime. And I looked at the outcome, and I looked at the lessons, and I was able to frame those situations by understanding that if I hadn't gone through X, Y, and Z and had those experiences, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be able to share. I wouldn't have learnt what I'd learnt. So that was really, really important. And from that point on, and from that And from that point on, one of the affirmations that I have said to myself consistently is that I am fully supported. What this means is that it's not all on my shoulders anymore. What this means is that I trust that there is always a bigger picture that sometimes I'm fully aware of and sometimes I have no idea of, but everything has an appropriate role to play in my life. What this means is that when I can't see the answer, I can ask for help and I know that I will get that help and support. I just have to be open to receiving that insight, those downloads, those people, my guardian angels who present themselves in various different ways right across my life. I just have to be open to receiving them to allow me to move on to the next stage. When I read this story about the shopping, I felt that the reason that I would have accepted that as the generous gift that was being presented is to demonstrate that I am completely and utterly open to receiving in all areas of my life. It doesn't matter where those gifts come from, but I am open to seeing and receiving them in every single area of my life. So for those of you who are into Denise Duffield Thomas, the lucky bitch, she talks about the fact that even though she is a millionaire now, that she still picks up the 5p off the floor, the 1p off the floor, the 2p off the floor, you know, because she wants to demonstrate that she is still open to receiving money in all shapes and forms without judgment. And so that gift being open to receiving the gifts that are presented to you is hugely important, particularly if you're feeling blocked, stuck, you don't have the revenue in the business that you want, you're not getting anywhere with the relationships that you want. Make sure that you are not throwing gifts back into people's or the universe's faces. Let people know, that the universe know that you are open to receiving and that you are worthy of receiving, that you don't have to push back. You know, accept that you can move into the space of feeling fully supported and allow yourself to be supported. That is it from me, my lovelies, this week. If that spoke to you, please let me know. Where can you be more open to receiving? Where have you said no, that actually on reflection, next time you're presented with a situation like that, you can start saying yes. And look, remember that whenever you know, it's all about exchanges of energy. And so what we want to be able to do is when we're in receipt in one hand, we want to be letting it flow out with the other hand. It doesn't need to be as quick as that, but it's about give and take. So it's okay to say yes to money, gifts, credit cards, surprises, however they're presented, and feel very, very good about letting that flow out again, so that you can then be in receipt of even more. It's really, really beautiful. Okay, take care. Faith plus action equals miracles, and I look forward to speaking to you next week. All right, take care. Bye.